love, I've been watching some of the things that you've been doing with it, you too, because it needed some straightening up. Because we toss around that loves word so much. We say we love our dogs and I love our meals, and
Mm.
it's the same word, but in the good book, there's different words for love, right? You have to know which one you're talking about. So abundance is in love. I'm going to go at it from the healing power of a touch that cares tonight, right? That's how I'm going to deal
Mm.
with that, right?
Nice.
We often speak of abundance as having more comfort, more security, more stability, but in the wake of loss, abundance takes on new meaning. In recent days, our beloved Jamaica, for those of us who are from there, and even those who are not from there, everybody loves Jamaica, I think that, has faced one of the most devastating hurricanes in its history. Winds of up to 185 miles per hour, floods that swallowed homes and livelihoods, and heartbreak that words can hardly describe. And yet, in the middle of that destruction, something remarkable emerges. People reaching out to help neighbors they barely knew, hands extended through wind and rain. That is abundance in love. And then I step into another topic, side of it, that says it was love, not pity, when Jesus moved along among the suffering. It was never pity that drove him, it was love, always love. Love that sees pain and moves towards it. Love that touches what others avoid. And love that acts not because it must, but because it can do nothing else. Nothing otherwise than that. It has to move and act. It was love and not pity that sent him to the cross. So, love as a noun, it's the essence of God, and love as a verb is the action of grace. And in that dual nature, being and doing, we find the heartbeat of what the world needs now. And then I talk about the crisis and the call. This hurricane has shaken Jamaica, but it has also revealed something. It's the strength and the resilience and tenderness of her people. We are seeing love as shelter, as shared bread, as rescue, as prayer. The abundance of love is not about material wealth, it's about spiritual wealth that multiplies when given away. Every act of kindness, every comforting word, every helping hand says you are not alone. So, in a season of loss, that truth becomes healing. The healing in touch, that's the next segment. To embody this kind of abundance in love, the kind that rebuilds lives, we must remember the healing in touch. And so I use the acronym. Anybody who's listened to me for a while know I always go to my acronyms because they frame the talk. So TOUCH. So the T is tenderness. Tenderness in strength, wrapped in gentleness. It shows up in how we speak, how we comfort, how we rebuild. It says, your pain matters. And then the O in the word is openness. When disaster strikes, hearts can close in fear or open in faith. Openness allows us to receive help as well as to give it, right? To let love flow both ways, because love is active and alive. The U is unselfishness. Love gives even when resources are scarce. I share what I have, you share what you have, because it trusts that generosity creates its own supply. In helping others, we find healing ourselves. And the C is for connection. This is the heartbeat of recovery. When we touch one another's lives, we restore more than buildings, we restore a sense of belonging. And the H in the word healing, healing, that's what it is. Healing happens when love touches the broken, the brokenhearted. It may take time to rebuild homes, but the rebuilding of hearts begins the moment we reach out in compassion. Scriptural foundation says this. 1 John 3:17-18 says, if anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need, but has no pity in them, how can the love of God be in that person? And James 2 reminds us that faith without works is dead. Right now, our faith must become hands and feet. Our love must become movement, clearing debris, feeding the hungry, praying for the weary. Because abundance is not what remains after the storm, it's what rises in the storm's aftermath. It was love, not pity, that moved Jesus to heal the broken, wasn't it? Do you agree? It was love, right? Not pity. And restore the lost. And it will be love, not despair, that will heal Jamaica. Every helping hand is a sermon in motion. Every act of compassion is a miracle unfolding. Every touch that rebuilds, restores, and reassures, that is abundance in love. So let us rise together in the spirit of touch, tenderness, openness, unselfishness, connection, and healing. And let the world see that no storm can wash away the power of love that acts. Even after the storm, love still stands. My hand, my heart, my touch. They are all instruments of healing. Through tenderness, openness, unselfishness, connection, and healing, I will help rebuild not only homes, but hope. Thank you.
Wow, very, very awesome. Awesome sauce. That
Mhm.
was an awesome presentation of that love,
Ye-
especially for Jamaica,
Yes. I just
because
thought I would
it,
combine the two things, Dr. Derrick, the
yes,
love that you
yes,
guys are exhibiting here. And then,
wonderful.
because love is love, as I said, right? We have to just find the right description for whichever one we mean.
Hmm.
Obviously, there are different kinds, but this is a time when love, but not just in words, right? Or sentiment. It has to be
Hmm.
actual hands-on love.
Yeah, wonderful.
You spoke so eloquently about love, and you talk about touch. And last week and the week before, we talk about the five love language, and one
Hmm.
of them is touch. So
Yes,
we can never say we love without touching.
you can't.
And as you express, we are looking at the so many things are happening in Jamaica now, and we see how love has been extended because of the touch. Different parts of the world is reaching out, touching to give of themselves because they love humanity. Now
Yes.
I'm touching on the acronym of touch.
Mm-hmm.
When tenderness, that's T.
Yes.
Expand a little bit more when you use this as part of the
The
to,
acronym.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, one of the things I was when I was watching the different points of view of the devastation is that we have to, all of us who are going to be involved, and all of us should be, I think, is that it's not just a rough get it done or whatever it is, because these people, uh, one thing I realize that we don't understand that gratitude, many people are saying how glad they are to be alive and there wasn't any more loss of life and so on and so forth. But there's also a grieving process going on. It doesn't have to be as devastating as people who don't know the Lord, but gratitude and grieving can be held together at the same time. And we should allow people. So when I talk about tenderness, don't rush people to get over it or whatever it is, or glad to be alive. It's nice. It's nice to take a little bit of time and be gentle with people, tenderness, because people grieve differently, and they do. Some people have worked hard for whatever little material things that they had, and it's very, very, very hard on the heart to see it's just obliterated in some places. I saw some of those videos. I don't want to see anymore right now because it's, you know, some parishes are really, really devastated. And so we have to hold in mind that gratitude for being alive and having people around you is, but it can be held at the same time. The both things, gratitude and grief, can go together. So let's be tender about how we deal with people. You know, sometimes you rush people to get over something and then it's not really done. So let them go through it as they're going through it. And then when they build, it's a firm foundation. They've now moved on, you know? So that's what I mean when I'm talking about the
Yeah.
tenderness of, yeah, yeah,
And with that tenderness, we as onlookers, so to
yeah,
speak,
yeah.
because we are not there.
No, we're not.
Yes, a few of us experienced Gilbert, and it was devastating.
Mm,
Um, However, and the recovery time, I think it is going to be longer
this
with
time,
with
yes.
no with Gilbert.
You
All
think?
right.
Why do you think that?
Yes, because you have to remember, first of all 14 parishes were hit with Gilbert.
Oh,
That's
okay.
first and foremost, because Gilbert, even though a category 3, which is a
Mm,
Intensive,
less
yeah.
rumble,
yeah, yes.
it actually moved from the east, Portland, St. Thomas,
Oh,
right across through the middle of the island onto Negril. Okay. And
mhm.
so it touched all 14. Bram.
I didn't realize that.
Um,
Yes. Okay.
yes, this time it went from south to north, but on the west side,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
it actually entered Black River,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
it's just Black River, St. Thomas, not St. Thomas, St. Elizabeth,
St. Elizabeth,
Westmoreland,
Westmoreland,
Hanover, you get a
Manchester,
touch,
Trelawney,
Trelawney, and St. James
for the most,
for the most. So it's
yeah.
about five that really got the hit,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm, yeah.
Because Kingston have light already,
So I've heard. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was
Yes.
8 months after Gilbert before one Dege place get light.
Because everybody was affected. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
All over. It was.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah. 8 months of you know everybody everybody was in disarray for at
Yeah.
least eight
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so this one is more intense and more heavier and more destruction for what it passed,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but um Gilbert really, it was 40, I think it was 46 or 47 people died in Gilbert.
Somewhere
Yeah. So
there.
the death toll was different as well,
Yeah.
as far as we
Yeah, as
know
well.
now. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're up at 28 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, people need grieving periods or grieving time. And so
Yes.
we as onlookers, we yes, we need to, get moving and get things and start to rebuild and so on. And yes, some people have, because I just spoke with a few people in some parts of St. Elizabeth, and
Mm-hmm.
it was and her roof is back on again.
Wow.
So
That's fast.
people are rallying and so
Yes.
on. A lady says she stepped down in water, and the water is still there today in our living room, ankle high. So everybody is experiencing different things.
Different ways.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we have to be patient with them,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
take each person at their level.
Exactly. That's exactly it, Dr. Derek. That's exactly it. Don't rush people along saying somebody else is doing this already or whatever it is. Some people
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be
Mm-hmm.
seeming okay for a while, and then they will probably break down a little while and
Mm-hmm.
start tearing up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just if they need space, let them have the space, and then them let them start again. So that's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful.
As you mentioned, grieving, and though these persons who are grieving, it doesn't have to be a death, because you grieve comes in so many different ways. And
Yes.
as onlookers, again, the way we can help is be
Empathic.
empathic.
Yes.
If we're
Empathy.
able to listen, and sometimes when someone will call us or trying to share what they went through, it's important that we
Listen.
listen. And
Absolutely.
we don't need to give any advice, because
No.
that's not
No.
what they really need. This
No.
is
No.
part of the grieving process
Process.
of
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
accepting what happened. And
Yes.
yes, we are the listening ear. We're lending hand, we're giving monies, we're giving of our clothing, we're giving of our time, but they still need someone to just listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
listen.
Yes. That is
Mm-hmm.
so.
Okay.
It's so rare to just listen without interjecting anything, without giving any advice. We tend to want to fix things, but some things you
Mm-hmm.
can't fix. Only time and God and time. So you
Mm-hmm.
leave them alone and give them the time that they need, and they feel a little bit cathartic. They've released some pent up pain or whatever, and they move forward an inch at a time, because everybody, as I said, is going to get there. Just because they haven't might have a death or whatever it is in the family, it doesn't mean that they're not mourning or grieving, whatever the word you want to use. And as Dr. Derrick
Mm-hmm.
and you were saying, as observers, we have to just give people the space that they need for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Nice.
And they will say the same thing over and
Over and
over and
over.
over again.
You got it.
But if you're not able to listen, leave them alone, leave them be. Get someone else, or seek help for them, because while we are building, while there's the rebuilding process, there is also the rebuilding of the mind, the rebuilding of the morale of everyone. So
Exactly.
I may not be the person to
You're
assist, to
assessed.
listen, get help for that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
You're
if
right.
you want to be helpful, get help for that person, because you may not have the patience to. You may be saying, "Oh, this person is just nagging. Every minute is the same thing, the same thing." But just understand that everyone deals with situation
Different.
different.
Differently. Yes.
Viewers,
And
we are here talking, we're here sharing, and if you want to chime in, you can jump on
please do
Meet
that.
In
Yes. Yeah.
and just come in, and we are sharing wherever you're from, but we're actually talking about the devastation, how we can help to care for others, how we can help to share not only our finances but also our touch, our empathy, so we
Hmm.
can help with the rebuilding process of
Yes.
both physical and emotional. So you
Mm.
And
can jump in and chime. Now, Yvonne,
hmm
openness. When I was writing my little notes, I put openness
hmm
um, that way and that way.
hmm
So you were saying openness goes both ways. Expand a little bit more on that.
well, as I said, openness, it's like this strange door, because some people, when something like this happens, they freeze up. You think that they're a hard person because they just don't, as you were saying, they don't want to hear any more about it, whatever it is. But you can also use faith to say, this too shall pass, and just find out what you can actually do. You can become more open as you look around to see how you can actually be active. Don't just be, because it is a trauma, right? It mightn't look like a trauma to us because we're so removed, but when you look around your beautiful place, I'm not just talking about your specific home, I'm talking about just the island itself. and
Mm-hmm.
and also because of the technology, everything comes at you. Every direction you look, you can see some devastation, right? And so you might feel like closing yourself off and just not leave your house, because some people are actually just so stagnant right now. They still can't get over it. And so, but faith calls us to faith in God. Faith calls us to be active doers, right? It calls us to be involved. If you help carry each other's burdens, that's what we've been called to do. So you have a choice, and all these things, we do mindset a lot. So all these things are choices.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm,
either, close yourself off or open yourself and get involved. And of course, the building will, the building back up will get done faster, won't it? If everybody goes and does whatever they need to do.
mm,
So that's what I mean by openness. Openness to the possibility that this too shall pass, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be part of it.
mm.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
That's
and well, a part of it, but in a positive way, because a
absolutely.
lot of people are a part of it, but they are part of it, tearing down and
Yeah.
discriminating
Yeah. We're not talking
and
about that at
and
all.
and
Oh,
doing
no,
all
no,
sort
no.
of negative things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
And
we don't want any of
no,
that. Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about.
No,
All
we're
right, we
talking
are
about
talking about love. Bob Marley said it the right way, one love.
One love.
It
one
doesn't
love.
matter what
Yes.
walk of
Yes.
life you are from. It's just that there's different ways of expressing the love. All
Correct.
right. So
Mm-hmm.
you have ways of expressing the love, and so you might express it a little differently this way,
Mm-hmm.
and to this person or to this group of people, and a little differently express it over here,
Yeah.
because you have to know, as a person looking on, you have to find a common ground so
Mm-hmm.
that you can effectively be effective.
Yes.
That's why it's so
And
important. Go
and to
ahead.
Miriam's point about finding out, listening, just listening, and then you will hear what the person is actually saying that they need, right? Whether it's
Mm,
just a quiet space to be, or whether they want to actually start building. Some
mm,
people have to do stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is like therapy for them, being active and doing
Yes.
mhm,
stuff.
mhm, mhm,
And so when you listen without interjecting, without judging, without fixing right away, then you will get a handle on what this person needs. And even if you can't do that yourself, you can say, why don't I call so and so or whatever? But it's still involvement, though. You have to
Yes.
be boots on the ground. You have to be involved,
mm.
right? Yeah. When you're out there,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Mm,
And while rebuilding, of course, you have things moving around, you have people moving around, but being present, you are able to understand or know where the person is at. There a lot of everyone, as you expressed earlier, that everyone grieve differently, everyone
Mm-hmm.
grieve at a different pace. And
Mm-hmm.
one person might be at the acceptance phase while others are still at the shock. So shock
Absolutely.
is actually the first phase of grief, and
Yeah.
a lot of people stay longer there
Yeah.
because they still are not able. This did this really happen?
Yes.
mhm,
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
mhm,
And as I said, they can see it so in real time, not just in your backyard. You can see the whole thing, because I'm sure that there was people still getting stuff on their phone and whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just pouring in. And some people, for that is just replaying the trauma over and over. And some people are going to have to probably step away if they want to just take some time to rebuild here first, right? In the heart or in the head before they actually, and then you might find that they catch up so fast, because once they made a decision now, what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to rebuild. What choice do I have? I have kids and whatever. I have to have a place for them to stay. And then they get into a flurry of exercises, and stuff happens very fast for some people, right?
mhm,
They don't stay at the same stage as somebody else who might have been isolated before and didn't have that community or whatever. But now when you have other people relying on you, you can't be moaning and grieving forever, because other people are counting on you to be there for them. So that even
mhm.
is an impetus. The fact that people are counting on you, that's an impetus to get moving. get things done now because kids have to. I'm not sure what's going on with the schools, Dr. Derrick. Are they open? Is that happening?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
Not that I know of.
I am not sure, but I could
yeah.
check that out also. I was about to ask you, how
Mm-hmm.
would you, what would you say to adults um as it relates to helping children go through this process?
Well, okay, let's see. Well, you want to hear how they're feeling because we think of children as just not having those kinds of feelings, but they do. And you're gonna have to, if you have more than one child, only have the one.
Mhm.
If you have more than one child, you're gonna have to know what one is feeling. You can't blanket everything, but you first of all you're grateful. You let them know that that's the case. They're all alive, right? And what are they feeling? You listen. That's what we're
Mhm.
talking about among adults. We do the same thing for our children, right? And that will take time, and it's your energy and everything. But if we're not going to look after the children, what's the most important thing, right? It's them to let them feel good. And then some people are saying these things are acts of God, and I don't like that phrase. It's a natural disaster. That's what it is. Don't say God did this or whatever. I don't
Mm.
believe you should tell children that it's an act of nature, right? And isn't Jamaica, well, this is late in the season, I think, but isn't Jamaica or the islands or the Caribbean, or isn't it prone to hurricanes though? Isn't that what we've been taught? Hurricane
There,
season.
there's hurricane season.
Yeah.
There's I think the hurricane season
It was
starts.
in
I don't
September,
remember
right?
when. I think it's
Somewhere up there.
September.
Same time. Yeah,
Yes,
September.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
there are certain times then it is identified as hurricane season. So it's expected for different hurricane to materialize, but sometimes they just die.
yeah,
No, well,
peacefully out of the sea.
we have in Jamaica, we
Mm-hmm.
have a very unique island, really and truly.
We do.
And so the mountain range that
Mm.
we have, that is what really repel, that's the word,
Yeah,
repel.
It
Okay,
stops it from
right.
going across into the, yeah, okay,
yeah.
yes.
Yes,
Repelling. Yes,
right.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, if you notice, hurricanes come and look and divert into a different direction. If you look at the history, 51, 1951 was the first, well, one of the first devastation that we know to hit Jamaica. And
Okay.
then 37 years after, it was Gilbert,
Hmm.
1988, 37 years to the T, right? And of course, many hurricanes came between, but it just never, it never hit Jamaica because of the type of um, land, terrain, and
Hmm.
all of that. Um, and then 37 years after Gilbert, today, I mean, this
Here we
year,
have Melissa. Yeah.
it's Melissa, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess we are going 37 years at a time
A
so
span.
far.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. All
so,
right.
so you might not experience another one in Jamaica until 37 years to come.
Yeah, based on what
Be-
we see, the
Yes,
two,
Yes.
based
Yes.
on the trend.
the
Three,
parameter, yeah, the
three,
trend,
three,
those parameters.
right? So,
Yeah.
so, so, so
so
that is
so
that is. Mhm.
so yeah. Okay. I just see what you're saying. It's not like it comes every year on schedule or anything like that. Otherwise, we
Well,
would never
it
have
comes
what
on
we have.
schedule every
Yeah.
37 years.
Every 30, yeah. We have to have a little bit
Mhm.
of levity. But to your
Yeah.
point, Miriam, yes. So the first thing I would say is gratitude, right? You bring them all together, or the one or whatever, and you say we are grateful that we have life still and we're still alive, right? And maybe you let the child or the children, whatever, let them express what they're feeling. That's very
Hmm.
important. An outlet, right? Because obviously 37-year span, some of them have never seen this, right? They don't know what the devastation of a hurricane is, and 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 so you talk to them about how you- you're going to get involved in rebuilding and how if they can be a part of it, even just praying. Praying is very
Mm-hmm.
important, and you show them by doing it yourself, right? And you show them by getting involved yourself as well. Check on your neighbor, or it's a community. Let them see
Yeah.
that they're part of the solution, because children are not, you know, when we were growing up, to, our parents tended to want us to be seen and not
It's
heard,
seen and
at
not
least.
heard. Yeah.
But that is
Mhm.
not the correct way, obviously, because children are people too, if you want to say it
Yeah.
like that. And
Mhm.
so my thinking is that appropriately, you should just get them involved. Tell them what you're
Mhm.
going through. Tell them how glad you are that, as I said, you're all alive together. There's hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say, while there is hope, express your faith if you
Yeah.
believe. And just center them, secure them, make them a part of the bad and the good, right?
Mm.
This looks bad now, but we're going to get better. That's what you say.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. And
And before my lovely wife responds, just want um to your question that you ask about schools.
Yes.
Yes, some schools are open, especially
Yay.
places where it wasn't hard hit.
Yes.
So I guess like Kingston,
St.
St.
Catherine.
Catherine, etc. Places like those, maybe school that
Okay,
is
that's a very
open.
positive
Yeah.
situation, right?
But
Yes.
places like St. Elizabeth, as we said, the five parishes mostly, because people are still, as I said, up to their ankle
Mm-hmm.
In
In
water.
in
water.
water,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Mm-hmm.
entire house, we're talking about the entire house flat
Yeah.
in most communities. We're not talking about one and two sporadically here and there. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the entire community flat, all right?
And
Especially if you don't have a concrete structure
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
along with a slab roof,
yes.
then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that has nothing to do with drainage like we're talking about, right? It's
Oh,
just the
No.
flooding.
no,
That's it's not the
it's the power of the wind
yes.
first,
Yeah.
right? Because it hit Black River at category 5,
Mm-hmm. 85.
185,
85 miles per hour.
right? So that was the most terriblest,
That's a new
He's making
word.
up words as
A
he
new
goes.
word.
terrible, terriblest hurricane
Tablets.
ever in the
Yes.
Atlantic,
Yeah. Yeah.
ever.
It was.
All
It
right.
was.
So,
It was.
never seen before. And is we it hit.
Yeah.
We, right?
But we're gonna be
When it
fine.
reached to Cuba and Haiti and those places, it was at a category 3.
It was weakened. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
significant.
we got the brunt
So,
of it.
the
That's okay.
brunt.
We can bear it. We can bear it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying the least that the other Caribbean islands
No, we're not.
are not feeling, but we are just expressing, trying to lift the morale of our
Oh,
fellow
yeah.
Jamaicans, and
Jamaicans.
we're extending it to the other Caribbean islands.
Of
So
course.
if
Absolutely.
anyone is on and would like to chime in, if you're on YouTube and you want to share a little bit of what you're going through, or just express your gratitude as to where you are now, feel free to jump on, because
Mm-hmm.
what we're looking on is abundance in love. And we are here loving on you for being so resilient. And we're not
Mm-hmm.
only sitting here, Yvonne, Dr. Derrick, myself, and our families are actually helping physically, but we're also doing this as a moral support for families who were affected and
Yes.
for those families who are supporting others.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
So we're talking about connection, and
Mm.
everything that we are talking about, touch, connection, everything that we're doing is actually connecting one thing to the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's
So families, parents, uh, people who are giving support, wherever you can help, wherever you can share your expertise, let's help our fellow humanity. Let's help our fellow Caribbean people to be restored morally,
mm-hmm.
that their morale can be lifted while the rebuilding process is going on.
Yes, yes, because connection is actually the heart of recovery, isn't it? I mean, when you feel that connection, because the worst thing anybody can be at a time like this is just feel that nobody cares or
Yeah.
isolated. But the recovery happens when people run over and they say, "Here's a part of a meal," or just that simple little thing. It 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 restores your faith. I think that's what it
Mm-hmm.
does in
Mm-hmm.
humanity, right? I'm sure that somebody who gets that a hug maybe some it's just amazing what those kinds
Yeah.
of human little things that we take for granted,
Mm-hmm.
some of us can do for somebody else. And it might lead to a big outburst of tears if you can stand that, because some people are so afraid of tears, right?
Yeah.
but
Mm.
but that might be just the thing that the person needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might have food and clothing and nobody has really died, but just the feeling of shock, as you said.
Yes. Yes.
And they just, because tears are a release, aren't they? God gave
Yes.
us those for a reason. Yeah, they're cathartic. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you let the person just express the way they want to express, then it's done for them, truly. Sometimes that's all it needs. Don't force people to have that stiff British upper lip that we're so brought up on in Jamaica, especially. I think it's just left over from the colonialism or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It is.
that stiff upper lip will just devastate people, because when they look around and everybody's, and then they want to just burst into tears and then they'll be
Yeah.
done. Yeah. So
Yes, just to even confirm a little more.
yeah.
Yes, schools in Kingston are open.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Derek. I'm very glad to hear that, because schools are very important. Maybe we can
Yes.
start sending people from other parishes to the school there for a while, but it would depend on, curriculum and what stages they're at. So that would be a whole other um,
Mm.
headache to try to sort that out, because you can't just put children in school because it's school. You have to find
Right.
out where they are in their in their curriculum.
And that in itself is very helpful because the parents are able
Yes.
to get somewhat a breather. Even the teachers
Yeah.
are happy because they're able to move from one environment, just thinking about the devastation, but being somewhere else where they can give a helping hand, where they
Sure.
can share their expertise, and so
Yes.
it divert the whole emotional
Yes.
aspect.
And
So their emotion,
structure is coming
yes,
back, right? Structure is coming
yes,
back. And we love
yes,
to
yes.
see that, because, oh, something is happening. Thank God. Structure is
Mm.
very important, because we are people who like that. Orderly
Mhm.
people love order. We love order, right? And so that's a great thing. Thanks for sharing that, Dr. Derek. I'm glad to hear that.
Mm.
And as we're on the last word, the last letter of the acronym healing.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole coming together of the whole thing. So
Mhm.
when we're tender, when we're open, when we are unselfish,
Mm.
when we are unselfish, we're able to connect even
Absolutely.
more.
Mm.
And
Yes.
in that connection, then healing comes.
Mm.
So
Yes.
my viewers, my I am grateful that we're able to share this. Yes, we are giving tangibly, But this is also another way we can give of ourselves and share and let you know that you are not alone. A lot of
Exactly.
a lot of people would want to watch, but they don't have electricity. They don't have they
Internet.
don't have internet service. So
Yeah.
if you're watching and you can walk over tomorrow to just share with that person to listen, we're in this together. Maybe that's all they want to hear. Or
Exactly.
sis, I love you. Maybe that's all they want to hear because
Exactly.
food is coming. Now, the same person who take the food to them may not be the same person who can be so empathic.
Yes.
They may hand them the food, but they don't want to break down, so they just hurriedly leave that area. But
Ex-
if
ex-
you are of that mindset that you can be empathic, you can share your authenticity,
Mm.
share your vulnerability, that person will be so happy or will be so grateful
mm-hmm.
for you being there. Some people
Mm-hmm.
are by themselves, but even in that rebuilding process, you can help them to say, listen, we are in this thing together.
Exactly. You know, giving of the food or the clothing or whatever is necessary, that's the practical aspect. But the
Yes.
personal part, the sitting with the person, spending a few minutes, whatever it is, looking around, and they might even start to say something like where they're going to start. It moves them forward in a personal way, right? Rather than sitting there on their own. The lethargy sits in. They don't feel energized. But somebody
Mm-hmm.
else walking around and talking with you and saying, "I'm going to do this first," or "What needs to be done first." Not everybody has that, and that is very important. It makes
Mm-hmm.
you feel human, connected.
Mm.
All of it
Nice.
is so
Yes.
important. The person who gives you the food will sustain body, and that's important because if you're not alive, it doesn't matter, right? But if you're
Mm-hmm.
alive, you still want to be human,
Yeah.
connected, so that those few minutes of just talking it over, and then you say you have to go because maybe you have your own things that you need to do too, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back tomorrow or whatever, but you
Mm.
build something. It's like
Yes.
building the community back, even though it's devastated, but the personal connection is still there, so the community is still there, of course, you know.
Mm.
Powerful, powerful.
Powerful.
So just recapping the acronym of touch.
Mhm.
This word is so important.
Mm.
It
Touch.
is.
Being
Mhm.
tender, being open,
Mm.
being unselfish,
Yes.
Nice.
Mhm.
being able to connect.
Mhm.
And once connection happens, then the
Healing
healing
starts.
begins.
Begins.
Amen.
Mm.
Amen. Thank you.
Nice.
Yvonne,
Mhm.
as we sum up this wonderful discourse, this, I would say it's a little, I would call it a fireside chat because it
Mm.
feels warm.
Mm.
Just the
Yes.
acronym of
And
it
she
feels
needed to.
warm.
She needed.
Oh, oh yes, and I was told that you need it because it's very cold there. So the fireside chat that
Stop
we're
it, Dr.
having,
Derek. Oh, he's always teasing me about the cold.
the fireside chat that we're sending a little warmth to you and
Thank you.
viewers, for those who are in Jamaica or in other Caribbean islands or families who are watching. I hope there's something that was said that you can take and just help others lift their morale, help them rebuild, emotionally as we go through this period of grief, as we go through this period of rebuilding.
Mm.
Amen. Yes.
You I you can just give us your closing remarks as you summarize your talk.
Okay, I will do that. I want to share something because Dr. Derek keeps teasing me. So today I was out and I was coming in. It's cold, all bundled up with how we dress here when it's winter. And so I was on the elevator, and this young lady, I said to her, "Winter is finally here." And so I expected her to say, "Yeah." She said, "Yes, but I'm only visiting." She's from Trinidad, and she's just laughing at me because she's thinking I'm not staying here.
There you go.
I
There
thought
you
that was
go.
hilarious. She just looked warm, even though I was so cold and everything. She looked warm because she's going home anytime soon. So thank you very much for for the invitation, Miriam and Dr. Derrick. And so, as we consider the path ahead for Jamaica, the images of destruction, I'm going to go there again, and the stories of loss, they weigh heavily on our hearts. They do. We grieve with the families who have lost loved ones and with the communities now facing the monumental task of rebuilding. The pain is real, and the recovery will be long and challenging. Yet, even in this profound sorrow, we see something remarkable: the enduring strength and spirit of the Jamaican people. We hear stories of survivors giving thanks for their lives, even when their homes are gone and their material possessions are lost. We see communities coming together, though, neighbors helping neighbors, bound by a shared sense of unity and the certainty that they will rebuild. This demonstrates a powerful truth. Gratitude and grief, as I said, can and do exist simultaneously. Let people have both. We can be heartbroken by the devastation and at the same time profoundly grateful for every life spared, for the resilience that shines through the darkness, and for the global community that has rallied to offer support. On focus, our focus now must be to honor both of these realities, to support the grieving process while channeling our gratitude into meaningful action. By working together, we can help Jamaica rebuild stronger and more resilient than before. And this to me is also abundance in love. And thank you.
Mm.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Touched.
But before you go,
Yes, sir.
um, I just want for you, please, very please, because I notice in your bio that you are an employment agency.
I had one, Dr. Derek, past
Oh, you
tense,
had.
but
Oh,
yes.
had. Okay, 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 okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
It was one of
Very
my
good.
many iterations of works. You know, they
Okay,
say
okay.
people are going to have seven
But
careers in their lifetime. Well, I certainly got there.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted you to share your information so if people were interested.
Oh,
Because
oh, thank you,
we
Dr.
just
Derek.
want to share the love. Every
Yes,
in
yes,
anything that people do, we want to share the love
yes. Thank
of
you
what
so much.
people
I
do.
appreciate that.
All right?
Yes.
Sharing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
love,
We have.
sharing the
You
love.
guys.
Yeah. So we want to share the love, man. That's what we are about here, because
Exactly. I know that.
we
I know that.
do have abundance in love.
Of course.
So
Yes.
at all times, we just want to share the love of
The
what people do.
overflow. The
And
overflow.
yes,
That's
Yes.
it.
people would be able to get assistance and so on in
Yeah.
the
That's a
employment
past life.
section. But all right,
That's a
you're
past
not there
life.
anymore. But maybe we need to call you back to find out how did you touch people lives in that area? Because
And
you
that's part two.
yeah, 'cause you
So
must have touched a lot of lives.
Dr. Derek is always
viewers,
giving
look
me
out
work
for
and
part
projects.
two.
You must have touched a lot of
Yes.
lives.
Ah,
Eh?
Dr.
Eh?
Derek, you're always looking for work for me. I don't want any more work.
Actually,
I'm
this
an
can
old
this
retired lady. I don't want any more work, but I
Well,
really
listen,
appreciate it. Thank you very much
we're
for
going
having
to
me.
have to visit that modeling thing, though.
No, that's done and gone.
I want to see pictures. All right, so we're going to have to, one day come back on. So you have a couple more. You have a couple more you have a couple more reasons to come back on. Your employment agency, your
That's
modeling,
done and gone, Dr. Derek. Done and gone.
the red carpet, the runway. Huh? Oh
For a
my
person who's
goodness.
supposed to be retired, I don't know why I'm so busy. Every hour of every day seems to be taken up
no,
with something.
but you always share with us that once you're alive,
Have to be busy.
you're active. And
Yes.
so giving of yourself you're actually love it comes back to love. You
It
love
does.
what you do, so
I
you're
do.
always there sharing. You see, we actually start this thing all over
Oh,
again.
mercy. Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
No.
We
it,
need
it,
It's,
it
get into another hour.
yeah.
no.
No, we respect Yvonne's time, and we respect our viewers' time, because we want
Thank
them
you.
to we want
Okay,
them to
okay.
see what's
All
happening
right.
and be willing to come back again. So
Okay.
we thank you all for joining us today, and for those who will be watching on the replay, we
Okay.
hope that something that is said is helpful. And if you want to share your little bit, you can just send us a note, and we'll be happy to have you share with us. Once again, this is Miriam Edwards
And Derek,
for another episode of
Mindset
Mindset
Monday.
Monday.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right. Give you a minute though. Don't run away too quickly.
No?